Well, hello there, everybody. Thank you for coming back on Thursday. I can't believe that I'm doing this on Thursday. This is a day I usually just goof around a little bit. But didn't work out yesterday. I wrote down, on my Facebook page that we had an emergency with our elliptical, and we did a while ago, actually. But yesterday, when was that? Was that Tuesday? Or Wednesday? Yeah, it was just yesterday. I went on Costco. Jeff said, "Oh, don't worry about it. When it breaks down, I'll just go out that day and buy another one." And he was serious because that's part of how I'm keeping my weight off. I'm telling you, this has not been an easy thing to do, as I'm sure all of you know. And so the last year, I told him that old elliptical is getting bad and you're going to need to replace it. And he's just like, "Oh, it's okay. I'll go out and get one the day of." And I thought, no, because I was like in the middle of my weight loss. And so when it did break down, and of course it always, as these things do, happens at the least convenient time, I got so mad at him. Mad at him means that I'm just like storming out of the house, just disgusted. Okay, it's not working. I'm going to take my walk then instead. And I went and I walked really hard and fast, and it actually was a better workout than the elliptical. So when I got back, I felt a little sheepish because not only did I feel stupid that I'd lost my temper, but I felt like, well, if I just got my butt out of the house and walked, I'd probably get a better workout. So anyway, I apologized, and he was fine. But then when he said the same thing with this new one, we've gone through 3 or 4 of these, and Jeff is a PE teacher, so he is around a lot of elliptical equipment, and they buy, their stuff is, I'm sure they never buy one that's less than $2,000, $3,000. I'm sure $5,000 is common. Theirs takes a lot of beating, but the upshot is he's the one that oftentimes is doing some repairs on those as well, and so he kind of knows them, and a little. He's no professional, and he can't fix things all that much, but anyway, I'm blabbing because I'm kind of waiting to see if people get on, but I'm also explaining about my elliptical emergency because I felt kind of stupid writing that, but it was. So I realizing that's the way he's going to do it, is he's going to just be, waiting till the last minute, and I am not going to get mad about that anymore because I can go out and get a better workout walking anyway. So I just thought, fine, that's fine. And, but he's been relying on it more too. And his schedule is so busy right now that, he kind of needs it as well. So I went on our Costco.com because I knew Costco would be better deal probably. And I think that said 3-week delivery. And I was like, no, 3 weeks. I can't go 3 weeks without the elliptical. So then my emergency began. And I searched and ended up buying something that I'm still having to wait 2 weeks for. But at least it was free shipping. Because one place, $155 shipping for that thing, I don't think so. So anyhow, I've got my names all cut out from last week's share. So thank you so much, you guys, for sharing these videos. I really appreciate it. I do occasionally get a little new business because you do that. And I know you think, oh, I, shared these a million times, but I appreciate it very much. It helps. Apparently Facebook sends stuff out. I don't know. So anyway, I'm going to put everybody's name in here and then we'll get going and we won't worry about. So we've got that new elliptical. If you're, a friend asked me, what'd you get? I felt kind of dumb saying, oh, part of the reason we have such a small house, I don't have a lot of room. Those things are huge. One of them, the one that I wanted to get, which was probably only $100 or so more, but it looked like it was a lot better quality. One of the guys who reviewed it said, you better not have a low ceiling or your head's going to hit the ceiling. Because some of them are, if you've been in a hotel and used any of those ones in the hotel, they're super tall. They're like climbing up into an SUV, like a big truck SUV. All right, so anyhow, we don't have that kind of room. So I went with a smaller, cheaper size. All right, so I peeked. No cheating, Kathy. My old school friends know I might try to cheat. No, I really wouldn't. Okay, so here we go. We'll see who won the drawing from last week. And Freddie, congratulations, Freddie. You won. Yay. All right, so we will send Freddie something nice. And I think I got, I forget who I had last week, but I think I got yours out to you. I certainly hope so. I've had such a mess on my desk, but I hope it didn't get lost in the shuffle. Now today we're going to use, it starts with art. This is the stamp set we're using. Follow Your Art was the name of the whole set. The suite of stuff. And we are using the dies. Actually, it's the dies that convinced me to get it. It's not a set that I actually was all that interested in, because another one that we're going to use today is this old one that's still in the new catalog. I mean, the annual catalog, the big one, but it's still available, partly because it has your Stampin' Up! Logo stamp. Now, if you sell any of the things that you make, you have to put this little logo on the back somewhere on your product. And I think only 2 or 3 of their stamp sets have that logo. So this is one that I've had a long time, just that I got because it has the logo. But I actually really like this set. All these things, you're going to see, they're so cute. So because I had that, I wasn't really all that enthusiastic about this set because, frankly, I do not like the color combinations of the paper except for this one sheet. This is the only sheet I actually like. I mean, and we're talking backside included there. So it does on one sheet, it has this yellow, which is okay, but it's like, I think that's, Mango Melody, it's so dark. So anyway, it's fine as a very, very small amount of background. This one actually is really pretty and it's grown on me. So that is a sheet that I've used quite a bit. The other ones are going into projects strictly for kids generally, who are just getting a little tiny bit. And then this sheet isn't too bad either. But the other reason that I wasn't drawn to it is because of the color combinations. However, these are the colors, many of them, that we are going to use today. I don't like the way it's done on theirs. I just am a fussy. That's why I get mad when my elliptical doesn't work. Poor Jeff. He's been married to me for last year. What was it? Oh, wow. Was it 37 years this last year? 37? 38? He's the one that knows these things. Okay. And then as we go, I'll show you one other set that I think I was working on. All right. So, oh, yay, Freddie, you won. You won. Thank you for watching, and you won the drawing. So congratulations. And I still have to get my computer going, but it's kind of going. It never finds me, and so I have to find me. And so I'm going to put my hand over the camera and put us down. Now, last week, I noticed that it was like I was filming from Mars or something with like the brightest light ever. So I pulled out, to try to prevent that same thing, I pulled out this paper. This is actually paper that has a nice wood grain on it. Because my desk is just like the crummiest desk ever, because I don't really want a nice one that I craft on. So I'm perfectly happy with that. But it doesn't show a nice wood grain. So that's what we're replacing that with. And because I like my graph paper, actually. I prefer the graph paper that comes along with my Stampin' Up! Business, basically. But the graph paper is just not, it's so bright. It was incredibly bright last week. So, okay, getting the sound off. And yes, you won. Thank you for sharing, Freddie. I appreciate that very much. Okay, so I've got my computer on, let me just show you what we're doing today. So again, we're going to do starts with art. The thing that I like about it is the dies. You're going to see how we're going to use these dies. Let me just show you some of the cards that I've made with them, which is why I decided, I'm going to go ahead and do it. I don't do this necessarily to sell the stuff. I'm supposed to, but I don't. I'm so naughty. And so I know everybody else is doing all the newest stuff that's come out because they want everybody to buy all the newest stuff. Well, you know what? You go and look at all their stuff, because those people are probably better crafters than me anyway, and you can watch them do all kinds of stuff. But I'm still playing with some of the old stuff. So when I started with this set, I really just wanted to show it to you. There's just all kinds. There's this little button die. It comes with all these little buttons that you can tie the cutest little, little ties on. So, and here's where I used that paper. And yes, so I've used the paper sparingly. I'm not that fond of it. It's okay. But it is they're cute cards for crafters. So you ladies who are on my team, you are going to be seeing these cards probably. Those should be fun for you. You'll really like them because it has the let's stay up late and craft stamp, which is only going to be amusing to some of us who actually do stay up late and craft. And I guess a lot of people do that with other crafts. Now, we're not going to make this card today, but I wanted to show you how you can use your button die to, we are going to cut this button die out. I think I'm using it. Oh, maybe I'm not, but I might cut it anyway. So you can see how it pops out so easily. And all of these. So anyway, that one came together really quick and easy, but we are not doing that one. And so anyhow, let's move on to the ones we actually are doing. Oh, hey, Trudy joined us. Awesome. Thank you, Trudy. I appreciate it so much, you guys, for putting up with my goofing around and not showing up on the day I was supposed to. Okay, I'm putting some more lights on, but I'm going to try to keep an eye on the side here to see what's going on with it, because like last week it was like there was some kind of sunburst going on here that was so bright. I couldn't even see when I went back to review my video, I was like, oh my goodness, you can't even see what you're doing there. It's so bright. All right. Anyway, so we are making this card, but I wanted to do a little bit different colors with it. And I also thought it'll be easier for me if I get out and just get the coloring done already. So I have stamped. You're going to watch me cut these out, but I've already stamped and colored a whole bunch. And I also got out our little New Wonders set. This is a Hostess set. So if you want to buy it and you're a demonstrator, you will have to go in as your own customer and make a customer order to get this. But it's really cute. If you put in Pinterest New Wonders or go to my Pinterest page and look at my New Wonders board, you can stamp little things on this page, and it's so cute. So I'm going to not use her today, but I'm going to. So that's why she's on this page. But I did go ahead. Now these, the Crafting Forever set, these do not have dies. And also it comes, the pins also are clumped together as a set of 3, just like your, it starts with art ones. I haven't separated these yet and I'm not going to, because they actually have a die that cuts them all out individually. So I don't need to, and I have these already. I would have probably cut some of them out anyway, because when I'm not wanting to cut it out, you can just stamp it, individually right on there. So anyway, that's something I'm going to talk more about, what I do with my stamps as I go along. because I don't always just leave them alone. I do stuff with them. All right, so that's why you're seeing all of these things. I've kind of pre-colored a bunch of things just so I'm hoping I can get a few more projects done today just because they're pretty cute. And I forgot my ribbon, so I'm going to have to go over and grab my ribbon. But we're going to start basically, let's see, we're going to start basically with a Coral Calypso, Granny Apple Green base, okay? I need a space. Yeah, I know. All right, and I'm also going to use, because I thought it was going to be super cute, this is a retired polka dot embossing folder. But you're going to like what you see we're doing with this. And you can get a polka dot, you can find these. Even if Stampin' Up's not selling it anymore, you can find it. They're pretty big. They actually fit our, they fit the, let's see, let's move this out of the way. Let's move you over. There we go. All right. It fits the button stamp perfectly. So anyhow, let's grab this. I saw that I think it was Mary Fish sent out an email, her regular email. When she sent it out, she has sandwiches for your Stampin' Up, or your Big Shot. She has sandwiches recipes for you, which was nice of her to do. I actually don't use those recipes that she did because I use the magnetic plate a lot more. So I'm using the magnetic plate right now, and I don't remember if it shoves through. It does not. So this is why I haven't written them down like she has, which was smart of her to do. I just keep changing plates. I still am doing that, changing plates to see what I'm doing. Okay, so the magnetic plate's too big. So basically what I'm saying is if I looked at her recipe, I probably could avoid doing some of what I'm doing right now, which is changing out plates. But I kind of like to just have fun with stuff. So I'm still not, this is really one of those super thin folders. So I thought that it went through. Now I'm confused. Oh yeah, there we go. So it is the regular plate. Maybe if I didn't use my magnetic plate at all, I'd have better luck. And one other thing that she does that I rarely do, but it does help, is to spritz it with water. It's just that I don't like it to be wetted because I'm going to, be using it again right away. And so I don't do that. But it does give you a better embossing if you wet it down. All right, so there's our little polka dot. Isn't that cute? I'm going to save that out because we're going to use that again. All right, so let me get my card back out here and remind myself of the colors because they're slightly different. It's pretty much the same. It's just using Coral Calypso instead of Melon Mambo. Let's see. What do I need? So I need my Coral Calypso. If I can find you over here. There's Flirty Flamingo, but that's not what I need. I thought I had you out. When I put things away last night, I didn't put them away in order. Okay, there's Calypso Coral and Lemon Lime Twist. No. I wonder... Uh-oh. No, there you are. You're not in where you should be. That's why I was losing you. Okay, we're going to keep Flirty Flamingo out because we're probably going to use you too. All right. So we'll get out the button. So anyhow, I told Jeff, okay, because he came home and said that I had no idea that I noticed this morning that elliptical's almost fallen apart, you know, and I said, yeah, I noticed that about 3 months, maybe almost 4 months ago now. That's why I told you it was getting pretty bad. And he said, yeah, I had no idea. I mean, 2 months ago when I told him, I don't know how much longer that thing's going to last, you know. He was like, oh, yeah, I know. I've tightened up the nut so much now, it won't stripped. And I was like, well, I know, but it's not the nut I'm talking about. It's the fact that the whole bar that supports our arms on the handles and the monitor has a major crack in it. That's the thing. Oh, he didn't even look at it. Didn't notice. Okay, so I'm going to do the button. And I'm just going to go over, I'm going to have to take my glasses off. Now, here's the deal. I trimmed this stamp pretty close so that when I'm looking at it on this side, I can be a better judge. Since this is not a clear one, it doesn't have to be perfect, but actually, because it's perfect because I, trimmed it. Now, I didn't trim these stamps until I started to do this project. So the first card I did, let me see if I can find it. Yeah, here we go. So this is the first card I did. You can see I didn't get it perfectly on there. I don't know if you can tell because this is a raised embossed surface, but you might not be able to see that all that well on camera. But it doesn't really matter if you get them off anyway. It's fine. It gives you a little guide, and it is raised. But mainly it's for giving me a guide, and then I won't put too many, because it's easy to put too many things. Oops, I don't want to do that. I want to do the other color now. So I'm just doing some Granny Apple Green. And then we'll do some Calypso Coral. And so Jeff said, yeah, you can just buy anything you want. I don't care. It'll be fine. And then when I went and looked online to see what we could buy, because he's really hard on him. He uses the handle. I rest my hands on the handle when I rest them. I don't use them to pull my feet along, which is what I think he does. I don't know, but I've kind of watched and listened and thought, so I can see why these are falling apart, really. They're not made, to be used like that. They're cheap. So, anyhow, our next one, we'll see. I told him when I bought it, it's more than I wanted to spend for what I'm getting. So I'm putting a little extra on the edge here just to make sure I've got enough of my Calypso Coral color on there. And I could use these tiny, teeny, tiny little buttons. They're cute, but I don't want to make it too fussy. I'm afraid I'll make it too fussy if I do that. So anyhow, I'm going to be 2 weeks before we get our new elliptical, but Jeff's gotten pretty good at putting them together because he's had to do them he's had to do them pretty often for us now. All right, so I've cut 2 Calypso Coral pieces, one slightly larger. This one is the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, but I wanted it to be just a tiny bit bigger so that I could mat it with our not garden green, but our what is it? It's it's got green in the name. A Granny Apple Green. There we go. And I am going to be off camera secretly using my secret recipe back here in the corner. Quietly. I've got a little bit of my secret recipe on the corner here. Let's grab that off. Okay. And we'll slide that on there because these are good. This is going to have a fairly small edge, so I need to have a little bit of wiggle time on here so that I can get that. The smaller your border, the more time I am going to need to attach. Okay, and then I'm going to just do the same thing here, applying some adhesive on the back. And this is this embossing folder, I can just put any old adhesive on it and it'll be fine because it's not a super dynamic one. Now our dynamic embossing folders that are super duper raised, I have to use mounting, our dimensionals or other mounting tape, or the foam things, or Tombow. Tombow will put it down too, but it has to, if you do it with Tombow, you have to use a clip because those dimensional folders are really, really high. Okay, so then the next thing we're going to cut out is I need to cut out my little strip. So in our art thing, we've got this guy, and we've got the button, and we have this very fun flag. It's I don't know, flag, banner. It comes out like this. Isn't that pretty? Let me see if you can see it here. It's really a nice one, and you could even, it's a ribbon really. So I haven't used the ribbon too much yet because there's not a die that goes with the ribbon, and it kind of looks like it should have one, but it doesn't. So, and I think I have a scrap on the side. I can just use one of my Calypso coral scraps. All right, so we will grab my Big Shot out again. All right, we're going to be getting this guy in and out quite a bit. I'm going to be using that. There's the magnetic plate, and we'll stick that right on there. Let me put my other plates away. And I have to stand up to use it. There we go. All right. Now we're going to run it back again, even though I probably didn't need to, but just to be on the safe side, I'm going to. And then you're going to see how easily this pops out. I'm going to bring this, and let me put this plate here. I'm going to grab, you can see I need to get a new plate. The color is coming. The color of my cardstock's starting to discolor my plate, and that will transfer to my white. And I do have some other plates in there, so I might even do that before we're done. We'll see. We'll see if it's necessary. Probably won't be, because everything I'm cutting out is detailed and cut. All right, so we're gonna, colored already, so it's probably not gonna. There you go. Isn't that nice? It comes out really easy. I don't have to use the pick tool. Anything that requires using the pick tool goes into my well, I like you category, but you're never going to be used for more than a few cards at a time, because we had some snowflakes, which is an amusing thing that they were snowflakes. Snowflake dies that were so high maintenance. So isn't that appropriate that they were snowflakes? Okay, so we're going to take this and we're going to just glue that. Oops, we're going to glue it down like this, though. Okay, you're going to hear my cat alarms going off. I've adjusted them, but they go off quite a bit. And this morning, I went out back because they go off at night, and I just put new batteries in them, and I wanted to make sure that they were still functioning out there. And I've seen a cat sneaking along the fence, but at least that indicates to me that it's annoyed enough that he's not by our alarms. He's trying to avoid the alarms by using the top of our fence to get to where the alarm won't get set off. So I went back there, and there was a new cat back there. He knows. I suspect he's just a little pet of some kind who's pretty tame. And he knows that if he just comes into our yard and runs right by the alarm and then hides back in the corner where the alarm can't see him, he can sit and wait for birds back there. So I shoot him out, but I was annoyed. I'm hoping that it's not one that's going to be using our yard a lot. We'll find out. And if he doesn't use it as a bathroom, I really don't care. It can come all at once. All right, so we're going to do this next. And I really, I kind of like some of that melon mambo in there. I'm not sure that I just want Calypso Coral now that I'm doing this card. I think we're gonna sneak in some melon mambo too, because it's not quite what I want. So we're gonna take some melon mambo and add a little bit of that to our buttons. Oh man, I've got projects all over the place here, and scraps of paper, and I know I have that. Where is that? Oh, there's that stamp set. I knew it was here somewhere. Okay. This is what happens to me. I always get distracted by something I think might be a little better. Oops. It's not gonna, maybe I better go on, not on my, we're gonna just do exactly what I said not to do. I'm just adding some extras in here. Even though that's going to make it busier, it's going to add just a little bit of the color I wanted. I kind of ruined my design. Oh well, it'll be fine. And I managed to stamp off on my ink pad. That was interesting. Okay, well. All right, now let's see what we're going to do next. So now that we've got that on, I think I can do my melon mambo as the background instead of the coral calypso that I was planning to do. So let's see what my measurement is on that. I think it's 3 inches. It's actually 3 1/4. 3 1/4 by 2 1/2, it looks like. All right, so 3 1/4. I think I can get enough of that. Yeah, very, very close, but it'll do. 3 1/4 by 2 oops, I bent the corner on that one. 2 1/2. All right, and then we will use. I was gonna use my. I think this is peach. But I might want to use a Calypso Coral. Now, I'm going to show you the paper I'm using. I don't know if you know. These are our Settles Designer Series paper, and they come in different colors. And I use these quite a bit because there's our gingham. And on one side you have gingham, and one side you have this. And then one side is also a honeycomb and the script writing. The script writing is the part I use a ton. And I'm thinking I might prefer, instead of Flirty Flamingo, I might prefer this Grapefruit Grove on here. Might be a better match, but I've already kind of got that one going, so we're going to just leave it. And then we've got, this is the actual Calypso Coral one. So I could put that on there. That one would look pretty good too. Let's try that for a minute. I love the script. I've got it upside down here, but the script writing is really cool. Okay, that's going to be pretty dark. So let's go ahead with my Flirty Flamingo one. And then I'm going to just need to trim it a little bit to fit on there. I'm going to put this guy right here so I get it where I want it trimmed rather than even measuring. We'll just go slide him about to where I want it. And then we'll remove the mat. And there we go. Okay. Let's see if I've got you where I want you. All right, then we've had a pretty busy week. Jeff's got conferences tonight, which he told me it snuck up on him. He didn't even realize that he had conferences, apparently. It happens. But the beautiful thing about that is that because he has conferences, now let's cover up my flub. That's the flub. We're not, yeah, it'll get covered. The great thing about the conference is that he gets a half day tomorrow, and tomorrow is my birthday. So that'll be sweet. We were already going to go out to dinner, but now that means we can go out to dinner a little earlier, and because neither one of us stay up late anymore, and it's the eating late that's a killer for me. Oh, man, because I haven't been eating all that much, to keep it off. And so, did I get that on crooked? I think my buttons are creating a visual thing here for me because it looks crooked, but it doesn't really matter because I'm going to put this on and I'm going to use this Starburst punch. I really like this punch. And and I could use the written side, but because I've already got a written thing on there, I don't think I want to. We'll use this side, and we'll put some dimensionals on there. Ooh, I don't think I have my regular size dimensionals over here in my corner. Ouch, I've got my minis. What's the deal? Where are those? I've got tons and tons of mini ones. I've got tons of mini ones over here, but no, we're using minis today because I guess that's all I have. My goodness, I'm going to have to replenish. That's going to be a little bit of a nuisance. At least the minis does have a nice border on the edge, thankfully. So I can use the border and get a little bit bigger piece going. Now, I don't have anything going under this so that I can just go ahead and stick it on however I want. And we'll do that. All right, so now I'm going to have to kind of move things again because I need to cut out all of these little pieces. Got them all ready to go, but I need to cut this out and some buttons and all of that. So that's what we're going to do. Let me put my glue away. Make a space. Make sure we're up high enough that my big shot doesn't... We'll just angle you. How's that? All right. And removing some of my things. We had our small group did a really fun event at a place called Soul. Well, the organization is called Soul Soup. It was actually at the Kennewick Prayer Center, which I've never even heard of, but it was very nice. And there's a church that runs it. I don't even know what church. It's a multi-denominational thing. And we really enjoyed being part of it. It was fun. All we had to do was, I went and bought a Costco cake because we were bringing the cake. Other people were making the soup and the other stuff that they had for them. And then our small group went and served. And the goal was to interact with the customers, which was interesting because just as I knew it would happen, I mean, I don't mean this to sound harsh, but it's hard to interact with people who you don't know, right? And so the interaction was very limited, like I suspected it would be. But, it's not an easy thing to do. And, you don't want to offend people. It's so easy to do. All right, with this button... Let me stick I cut these out so that we can manage this. Now, I hope you can see Wonder if you can see. Yes, I think you can see. Oh, my lighting looks really bright again over here. Huh, interesting. Okay, well, we'll just... It's odd that it seems dark to me, but it seems light to you. Okay, so there are holes that you can actually line up. And it's kind of tricky to line them up, but you can. And and you want to if you can. Oops, don't drop it. You want to because you can thread your little thread through it if you line it up. So I want a green one. I'm not going to do all of these. Although I guess if I'm going to do the other card, I'll check and see what time, what the time is so that I don't go till 5 o'clock tonight cutting buttons out. And I guess I could save a little time by trying to get the little binder clip. The trouble is, unless I switch out my plate, that's not lying perfectly flat. My cutting plate isn't, and because it's not lying perfectly flat, sometimes the little magnet wants to move things more than I want it to move. Okay. All right, so there's one. Yes, I got it off a little bit, but there's one little clip, and there's a little button. Where are you? Let's grab my pick tool out and just push you out. So I went into, oh, isn't that cute? I love these buttons. They're so cute. And the reason I love them, and I know you can buy buttons, and buttons are really cool. They add a nice dimension. If you're doing a scrapbook, buttons are great. If you're mailing a card, buttons on your card do not. The postman has gotten really nasty about mailing things that are raised at all. I mean, seriously, I do not put any of my I don't take them to the mail counter. I put them in the mailbox because I put plenty of postage on it. It's gonna get there, believe me. And but when I take it to the postman at the counter, they're really snickety about it. They put it through, even though it's obviously thin enough to go through their silly machine, they take it and shove it through a card template thing they've got to see if it's gonna fit. It always does. I'm thinking, you know what? That is just so annoying to me that you are testing it. And normally it wouldn't make a big deal about it, but there's always people waiting. And ooh, that one's, I didn't get the holes on there quite well enough, but that's okay. All right, so we've got those two. Let's go ahead and do our other ones too, because this is for my other project that I want to do. Let me flip my plate. I think my button came off of the... I'm sorry I have to get my head in here. I cannot see where those little buttonholes are if I don't do that. Kind of got to get my head right on it. Oh, that one, the magnet doesn't want to stay in that spot. Okay. I'm not getting these cut perfectly out because, of course, I'm not getting my head right over it. All right. So anyhow, hey, Aunt Connie. Thank you for joining. Appreciate that. I saw you guys tried to call me earlier, but I was really busy today. I could not respond. I'm sorry. I'll give you a call later. Hopefully you guys are doing well. You should have pretty nice weather. We've got really nice sunny days. It's been wonderful. Look at those little buttons. Aren't those cute? And these will go through the mail without the mailman even batting an eye, wondering what I've got in my package that I could be trying to sneak through the mail. Wow, that magnet's just not letting it go. Sometimes your magnet will be attracted to the very wrong things in your... Come on, magnet, don't do this to me. There's 4 holes right there, and I want those lined up. I'm just, for some reason, I'm not getting it. I don't know why. Sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just, for some reason, this is not cooperating with me. Let's move the paper. Ah, there. I think that's close. All right. And then this guy. Sometimes when you stick on your next piece, then it forces that one away. And I hate that when that happens. All right. So back to my story about the lady, or not the lady, but the people at the prayer center when they were eating. After we had not interacted for a long time, we were all we served all the food. We carried, and because they had like multiple things to carry. They had soup, they had salad, they had a dessert, bread, a drink. So we carried things to see. This is what happens when you don't do it well. The little holes are wrong, and so I would color that if I was going to fix it, make it nice. But we're going to just go on. And I'll save that button. I don't know if I'm going to have time to get to that card that we're using that one for, so we won't worry about it. And I went and there was a lady who had already indicated that she was problematic. She'd come in, she'd gotten her food. She was one of the first. She sat down at the table and no one joined her. She was sitting at the front table and no one joined her. And everyone else sat at other tables and they were happily talking to each other. And then after a little while, she kind of made some eye contact with someone and shouted at them. I couldn't really tell if she was shouting happily or not. I mean, their tables were like only 1 foot apart from each other. I mean, she wasn't shouting across the room or anything. She just chose to shout. And thought, now that's interesting. She didn't seem to be too upset or anything, so that's good. I thought, oh, where did I put my little clip? Did I lose it? This is the problem when you have a ton of little pieces. I think I set my little clip somewhere and now I don't see it. Okay, let's just go on. Going on as though I know what I'm doing. And we'll cut the pins out. There's this other little button part. There's another little button. You're probably thinking, oh, come on. She's not going to surely not cut all of these out. But I was going to, but now I don't see that button. And I know it's here, but that's the bigger button. Wow. I might not get to do it if I'm going to lose my buttons. All right, we'll put that one through. Oh, I forgot. There is no, I'm using a punch for that one. The teeny tiny button does not, now see how those punched out nicely? Oh, look at that. Isn't that cute? Oh, these are so cute. I really do like these. But we get to use a punch with that, so you don't have to labor with me here on the Big Shot, cutting everything out. Anyway, so she only did it that one time, and the people she was shouting at, they didn't really even respond. So it was like, I think they know her, and I think that's why they all knew not to sit with her, and they know not to respond to her, and she was fine. She just kept eating and didn't seem to have noticed that she'd created a little mini scene. So I'm putting my pieces over here because I don't see oh, there's my clip. Yay. I had put it away. Let me grab that because I do want to, there was that green clip. Was it the green clip? What do we have out here? We've got a coral clip and a yellow clip. Yeah, we got to get the green clip and then I can stop. So anyway, after we'd sat and stared at them eating for a long time, and I felt kind of, oh good, Jewel, you are here. Oh, you use tape to hold them down? Yes. I do have washi tape. And before I got a magnet plate, I used washi tape. And it's like painter's tape. And that does work, but it kept tearing my paper a little bit then when I lifted it up. So then I just broke down and got the magnet plate. The magnet plate works great, but it works best if this is flat. And I've used it a bunch. And I keep thinking for my card things, I've got to get out my new ones. I have like 4 new ones over there. I keep forgetting to get them out. And then by the time we get started on this, I'm not going to go pick it up and get it, because I'd have to leave you sitting here looking at this board and nothing happening for a while to do that. All right, so we got those cut out, and now I can put my camera back at its proper angle. And I'm still kind of gingerly moving this about because I need these stamps and I need those dies, and I don't want them to get lost, because we've got like a lot of stuff to still do, although we are almost done. All right, so this one I have a little punch. This is a little tiny punch. It's a 1/2-inch punch. You can get this at the Stampin' Up! Main catalog. And you can see it's a little bit large for the button, but it's as close as it needs. There you are. You're hiding from me, but there you are. It's pretty close. And it's a lot faster to punch those guys out. It landed right on my hand. That was a good one. It's like tiddlywinks. All right, so we've got those buttons. I'm going to grab this one out. That way I can throw away my little scrap here, because we're going to use that navy one eventually. That's the one thing about punches. Sometimes when you punch, those little guys, when they jump out, can go all over the place. And you're right, Freddie, when you put things on those, that Big Shot, the magnets can send every time you add another piece, it can really send it all over the place and mess things up. Okay, so we've got that. I did need to cut out, or do I have one? Let's see if I have one cut out already. I have some things cut out. Let's see what we've got. Maybe we'll just make do. I took, this Crafting Forever has these pens. Those don't have dies, so you have to hand cut it all out. So I have done that. I've already cut all of those little pens out. There's still some there. We're going to use a die to cut out this. The die from it starts with art for this needs to be cut out. And so we're just going to get those done. Let's see, what else? My scissors. Let me tell you about my scissors. Okay, so when we do our scissors, this is from the Crafting Forever one. Doesn't have a die, so you must fussy cut out your scissors. I'm so sorry. They do have to be, it's not too hard. It's a little annoying, but not too bad. So after we'd watched that lady for a while, and she'd calmed down, and she seemed fine, but everyone else had... there were 2 ladies sitting at their own tables, not talking to anyone. You know, this one had interacted poorly with some people. There were a couple of other ladies sitting at the table with the guys. You know, the guys were sitting happily engaged in conversation and food at the other tables, and they were very polite. Most of the people that came through were ultra polite. Thank you. Very grateful. They looked like people that were probably right off the street. Oh, good. There's a little green one. I thought I had one there. And I cut this out with a die already, so you wouldn't have to watch me do everything. And we'll just stick that guy there. We'll need to use our dimensionals. So I thought, well, we're supposed to interact, so who can I interact with? I'm looking around. The one other lady by herself at the table, she just kept her face down in her food. She clearly did not want any interaction. So I thought, well, let's not do, let's not bug anyone too much. So, and you know, I thought everybody else was probably like me. We're waiting for them to eat. You don't want to descend on them when they've got food in their mouth. Now, since I've already got dimensionals on that, I need this to be up higher. That one little level of dimensionals just not quite doing it. So we'll stick another level on there. Okay, so artist's tape. Is artist's tape, Freddie, like washi tape? I don't know what artist. You are an artist, aren't you? I think you've kind of hinted at this, and I've noticed in your card making ability that you're very gifted. But now that you're mentioning artist tape, I'm thinking you have a skill set that I don't have. All right, so we'll get our little button out while I'm thinking about it. And I took, I found this twine at the dollar store. Oh man, what a find. And it's very similar. It's definitely matching our melon mambo, isn't it? So you can probably find it at the dollar store. And if Stampin' Up! Had this color, I would have purchased it, but it didn't. It's kind of thick and it's very twine-like. It's not like our nice soft threads. But you can tear it apart, and it's going to thread through here fairly easily. Of course, let's cut off that little piece there. I do have a big giant needle that I could use, but let's see if I can do this. So this was a piece from last night when I was working here at this that I pulled apart. This is like a third of that piece of twine. So out of one little snippet, you can get quite a bit. And we're just gonna keep working it. So I went and sat down by her, and just before I did that, I saw she'd picked up, they had little New Testaments on the table in front of them. And she picked one of those up. And let's see, where do I want to go? I want to go here. Wow. I'm having a hard time. I've got fuzz in my mouth from this twine. That's Rite Aid calling. Oh, come on. You can do it. You can do it. Get in there. And you know what? You're not doing it. Let me see. What have I got? I'll just use my little my little pen here. My little paper pen. There we go. All right. So anyhow, she'd picked one of those up. So I thought, aha, an opening. An opening. And I went over there, smiled at her very sweetly. And kind of sidled into the chair not next to her, but across from her, but with my arms kind of in the open body stance so as to not intimidate. If you've been through any training that they give you, for de-escalation stuff, oh my goodness, at the school district I had to do all of these de-escalation things, which were such a joke. Like they told us, for one thing, in the first one, this is the first training I was ever in, which indicated to me I wanted nothing more to do with it. And so it was the first and only training I think I actually took, because I might have had to take another one, but this cinched it for me. They said, now, this is the way, and they demonstrated, this is the way with your arms and such to break a person's hold on your neck when they're trying to strangle you. But they said, we don't recommend using it. Don't do it because it could hurt their arms. And I'm thinking, so I'm supposed to just stand there and allow them to strangle me because I don't want to hurt their arms. Okay, I'm never doing this again. So anyhow, I have had very minimal de-escalation training. So I knew to approach her in a way that would not escalate her. So anyway, I go and I sit down and I say, "Oh, I see you're interested in reading the this little booklet here. Are you enjoying it?" Because she'd been looking at it for a little while. And so she shouts at me. It was hilarious. I enjoyed it immensely. She shouts at me. I'm sure everybody in the place turned and looked. Well, why not? Oh, it was good. It was good. And I thought to myself when she said it, you know what? Why not indeed? No response to that. What can I say to that? Why not indeed? So I just smiled and kind of nodded my head and thought, well, I really have nothing to say about it because clearly you can't even respond to anything that I might say without taking, she would clearly respond negatively to anything I might say. So I said nothing and smiled and continued to sit there for a while in case she might change her mind and have a nice little chat with me, but she never did. So, oh well, I tried. All right, so now we're going to take our little Calypso coral clip and we're going to put dimensional on that and stick that little guy there. Oh, what time is it? My goodness, the time. I'm not going to have time to go to another card. What was I thinking? I can't believe how late it is already. Oh, my clock is fast, so it's not quite as bad as that, but I forget all these little doodads. You know what? They do take time to put on a card. It's true. It seems like when I get done, do a lot of prepping ahead of time, I should be able to get more than one done, but getting one done is quite a lot anyway. So we're going to just put that guy on there. We only need one little layer for him. I needed a double layer for that one to get it to be high enough, but this one, that I just glued down, so one will do. We'll stick you right there. All right, we've got that. Now I just need to find some appropriate pens. So we've got our Calypso coral and we've got green. We could put in let's put in a should we put in a flirty flamingo or a melon mambo one? I did a variety and I do really like these little, I wanted to put in my scissors. So when you do your scissors, you fussy cut those out. Just get your hole punch, okay, and you can kind of, you can just punch that out with your little hole punch in the center, and that's pretty good. I could get some little snips and snip it out if I wanna make that perfect. Anyway, so the lady did not escalate anymore. In fact, I think she was perfectly happy with how things turned out. She finished, me sitting there though, finished her meal quickly. She was done anyhow, and she decided rather than sit and chat with this upstart woman who just sits there and does nothing, just sits, she left. It was really funny. It was very funny, and we did enjoy it a lot. The organization is so well staffed. The minister that kind of helps came down and talked to those guys. He probably sees them regularly. I'm sure he knows who they are. The other thing about it is that that one might be, no, that's not it. I'm trying to find the colors that are going to coordinate with my design. Let's see what we've got. We've got this one. Let's do that one. That one will work good. We heard them talking. The Soul Soup group apparently serves at about 4 locations throughout the week. And that's why it is a multi-denominational endeavor. Because I think different churches, they do them at different churches. And so they have a lot of members from all of those churches participating. Lots of members. So it's not overwhelming at all. It's I thought they did a really great job. Now I wanted to get that little ribbon in there. do we have time to cut that ribbon out? Where is that ribbon? I had it ready to go. There you are. So I'm going to just do that on the side here rather than dragging out that big shot again. So that's this die right there. Now this set does have a label die. I'm not going to use it. It looks like it. This is not what it looks like, but you can use your label die to do it on the side too. So it cuts. What I did is I wanted to stretch it. Oh boy, that was something I wanted to show you guys. I don't know if I'm gonna have time to do it though. We'll see. I'd kind of forgotten that I wanted to get to that. There's too much to do, and too little time to do it in. But for those of you who live in the Tri-Cities or anywhere where you have got access to something like that, I would really encourage you to give it a try. It's again a nice way to help people who aren't used to serving others. You know, I'm not all that keen on doing it very often because you know, I've done a lot of that kind of thing and I don't really feel like I need to do it anymore, but some people don't do that all that often, or they just have a much more generous spirit than I do. All right, so I'm kind of playing with my stuff, seeing how I want to do it. I do need to put my little label on there, and then we will be done with this card. Let's see. I wonder if you guys are there with me still. Hopefully you're still there. I've got my little labels all shoved in here. Let's see what I can find. Doesn't really matter what shape I do. It's just got to be big enough to be seen. I've got one there. That one might do. What have we got? And I wanted to do this one. I'll find that one. Let's see. I'm going to have to make a big mess here, it looks like, because I'm not finding quite the size. Ah, there you are. That's the one I want. Put you guys away. Oh, actually, you probably fit better. I found one that might work better. No, you're too skinny. Okay, never mind. All right, and then that way I can get my ribbon and get your last little bit of ribbon in here. So here's your twine. We'll shove that guy in there. And do a little slip knot. I believe that's what that is. There. Okay. And then we'll fix that as we go. And we've got our little You Make Everything Sparkle. Now, with this little You Make Everything Sparkle, you really should have it'd be really nice to have some glitter on here. Now, one thing I've noticed too when I've got my stamps, if I want to, these rubber ones where you can't see through, I generally make a straight cut on the bottom of my stamp so that I'm going to eyeball where I've cut it to make sure that that's the top, but that if it's cut straight, they just follow, you know, the shape of your stamp when they cut these out. But I want a straight. I didn't put my label on straight, obviously, because here's my line, my cut line. I don't know if you can see that. And my words are looking crooked, right? But since I trimmed it, that's the straight line. So that way when I'm doing I'm going to align it onto the block so it's going to be straight. Oops. Let's do it the way it'll stick though. Okay. And then when I'm eyeballing it, I'm going to see, okay, so that's how it actually needs to go. We'll use our Calypso coral. So hopefully I can get this on straight. We'll see. We'll find out if I'm able to do that. Okay, so since this is an oval, pretty good. It could have been better, but it's not bad. But that generally does help to do that. All right, now let me chat up this little oval really quick, because we're not going to have time to do all this stuff. Gonna run out of time fast. All right, so let me I could separate these, right? But I don't want to, because of course there is a die that cuts out that label. But I noticed that not all of the sentiments fit nicely, this one too, in that size. So we're going to discover how to make it work anyway. There's always a way, isn't there? Without making too much trouble. I've always got little dots all over the house. It's like, wow. All over. Let's put you under. I want that under the clip. I should probably have not put my clip on until after I'd done my little label. There we go. Okay, so now we've got our little clip on. We're gonna rough up our edges on our twine. And we'll be all set. Okay, and we're almost done with this one. Oh, I cut that out. Got to get that on there, right? We'll get a bigger, we'll get the edge of my mini dimensionals. If I can find the spot to start it from. Stubborn little guy. I've got some partials there because I've been using little bits of that. Let's grab a little one there and put you right there. And then that can go in the corner. And then we get our pens that I've shoved to the side. Now I don't even see them. Oh boy, let's grab out a Melon Mambo label anyway. Okay, so we've got, in the evening, if you want to take your scraps, cut out your labels. I've got them all now in my little folders, so I can find them pretty easily. And now this can stick on there, and we are going to just take a piece of white. Oh, I want to cut those out though. I don't want to use that. Where's all my scraps, white scraps? Let's just grab a piece here. Okay, and we're gonna stamp out. That happy day is actually from the Itty Bitty Birthdays, I think. I don't know. We've got, oh, there it is, Happy Day. Little itty bitty greetings is what it is. I kind of like the Happy Day, it's cute. Okay, now here's another one. There's a lot of edge, but it actually is pretty straight on, so I think we're safe in leaving it. These little ones I don't like to cut because they're so little. If I cut it at all, it won't leave enough to stick to that block. Okay, so we'll just do a little Happy Day. Oops, I lost the stamp in the cleaning thing. We'll stick that away before I lose it. Those little ones are easy to lose, so we'll put that away fast before I have a chance to lose it on all of my junk all over the place here. That is not the same Happy Day. This Happy Day is a bigger one. Huh, that's interesting. I thought that was the one I used, but obviously it wasn't. Oh well. One happy day is like another. So we'll just glue that on. Oops, I got a bit of extra glue on that. Let's discard some of that. I don't need all of that. My clock's going slower and slower. It needs to be wound. It's the time. Normally I would have wound it yesterday, but yeah, yesterday ended up being pretty hectic. It took me hours to read all the reviews of those ellipticals and figure out what would work out best. And then and then when I came to the shipping issue, and like, oh my goodness. So yeah, they gave me like 50% off of the thing, it seemed like, but shipping and handling, it made it right, $155 in shipping. Right. Anyway, there was a lot of extra angst that went into that decision that shouldn't have been part of it at all. All right, we're all, again saying for the 30th time, almost there. What colors do we want to emphasize? It's got quite a bit of our little melon mambo. I don't think we need to do that. This is not raised enough. It's kind of falling down. So we're going to stick in another dimensional. And hopefully I got it on the one. There we go. And that'll keep it up a little bit. My cat alarms are working. I hear it going out there. There we go. That's the pen I'm looking for. So I think we'll do that. I think we'll just go with that. Now, one thing about the pen that I really like is that you can make it appear to be writing, you know, on a thing. But the problem with that is that the way I've got, this design going, that's not going to work very well because I don't want to have to put gobs of these mini dimensionals on, because these mini dimensionals take a long time to use. They're mini. I need to get my big dimensionals over here, and I'm going to do that as soon as we are done with the video. I'm going to go get my dimensionals. I also am going to go out on a bike ride. It's sunny. My forsythia is blooming out there. It looks gorgeous. All right, let's do you like. I kind of wanted the scissors on here too. But I'm starting to think this is getting to be way too much, so we'll just stick you on there. Ah, that's good enough. All right, really quick before I go, because I'm obviously am not getting to all of these other cards. I had a whole bunch I wanted to do. Here's another one that we were going to do. Isn't that cute? But this one I'm going to do in navy and coral, Calypso Coral. So when I get to that and you see it, make sure you go to my website, and you can always get tutorials for these, because these are going to be, eventually I'll get them on. The label here on this one, let me just do a little sample of the label. Okay, just to show you what I'm talking about. So here's the little label that comes with this Follow Your Art, or It Starts With Art set. And we'll use, let's use one that I'm going to actually be using in my future card. We'll use Calypso Coral. All right, so I'll just demonstrate how my sentiment might not actually fit very well in here. Now this one, as you can see, not going to fit in, right? Not really. Kind of almost does. Let me stick this on here so you can see what it looks like if I do it a different way. Okay, we're going to do a couple. All right, so if I do it this way, it does fit, but where's my die? There you are. The die will cut off all your words. Okay, Okay, so that doesn't work. And there's also this really cute follow your art. Very cute, but as you can see, it does not work with this label. Now, this is something that's unusual. Every stamp set that I have ever gotten before where it has a label die, every single sentiment fits the die, the label, and the die. The label stamp and the label die. So this is one of the first ones that I've gotten that has done this. So let me show you how I corrected that problem so that you can use this. Let's just say you only want to buy this one set. You don't want to buy a whole bunch, and you want one label die. You can make it work. You can do it. So this is what I did to make it work. I'm gonna, oops, let me do it again. Do it right. I am going to stamp my sentiment first. So we'll use this one because it, you know, the follow your art one's going to be, it's pretty long and skinny anyway. It's not going to really work well with that label anyhow. You're going to want to do different things with it. So this one, we'll stamp this here. Okay, let me get rid of it. And then I'm going to just stamp one side at a time. Okay, so I'm just going to, there's a big gap, so it's not all that hard to do. You just stamp one side. Now, I did get a lot of ink there, but then I'm going to stick one side there. Okay, and then I'm going to just keep re-inking. I can just keep re-inking on that same side and turn it over. Okay, and then I've got my label pretty close to where I want, and you can still use your die. Let me show you how to do it, because you don't want to fussy cut it. If you've got a die, you do not want to be fussy cutting. So let me trim that out so I can show you, because I'm going to need to make a space here for my big shot. So let me get rid of some of my garbage. Then we will be done. I'm probably exhausted by now, needing a drink or something. And I don't mean liquor. Like I'm thinking a drink of water. All right. So we're going to save that out. I'm going to put this aside here. I'm just trying to clean up my mess a little bit. I've got things all over the place. And I just get tired of little dimensional pieces being stuck to me all over. But I also don't want to lose any of my goodies that I've cut out. That took a long time cutting that. That's what I did all last night while we were watching TV, is I colored, stamped, and then colored. This is one of the things that I do with a stamp set that I like a lot. If I want to, like I wanted to make a bunch of cards, birthday cards and whatnot for various people using this stamp set. And I have found that in order to just make a lot of cards quickly, it is, if I like a set a lot, I'm going to want to use it a lot. This is a great set to use for men and women, so I'm going to use it a lot. I stamp out a bunch, and I will, you know, either fussy cut or I'll fussy cut or, you know, or die cut. I'm looking for my bag. Oh, here we go. My little bag. And then I will just put all of my little goodies that it took me, you know, maybe one evening's worth, but lots and lots of images, all colored and stamped, ready to go, ready to stick on a card. And then I just, I don't do so much that it would be difficult to store. I can just store it right in here with my set. All right, now I'll show you how to do this. Oops, where is it? This label. This is the one that we cut out much bigger than, or stamped, I mean, much larger than the original die is gonna do. So this is how I did it. Now there's many ways you could do this. I could just use a punch. I also did grab out on some of the cards that I made, like this one, I did the punch or the die cut, and then I used this punch for the you know, to do a background. So you could, if you wanted to, you could just do a punch and it would look good. Okay, that's one thing you could do. But you can still use your die if you want to try it this way. So I am going to position my label so that this side is facing that, because I'm only going to cut this much. Okay, I'm not going to cut any of this. I'm going to try to just get this edge. So I'll just place my plate right here. We're going to just roll it until I can just feel it. I just can feel it. Now it's out. Okay, I just could feel that little bit. And then we're going to do the next side. Same way. Now, if I had stamped this better, it would have aligned perfectly, but I was kind of in a rush, so my magnet is not grabbing it. There we go. Now it's grabbing it because my plate's bent a tiny bit there. Okay, so I actually want it to be straight on because I've got to make sure that I don't go through very far. I'm going to go just till I can feel that die. Don't be in a rush so that you can feel it. Okay, now I felt that it was making that spot, so now that's cut. Now, one of the cards that I did, what I decided was that, let me see if I can find it. Where is it? No, it wasn't that one. Oh, it was one that we were going to do today. It was, oh, that was going to be a really cute one too. What did I do with it? Where are you? Oh, there you are. Okay, this would have been cute to do today. I really wanted to. I did this with the die and then figured out, if I punch it with my punch, that's going to make a really nice place to put my ribbon. So I was able to put my ribbon through on both sides and tie it in a nice bow. And since I used that white ribbon, I just colored the dots to match the card, colored the Bermuda Bay actually, and Flirty Flamingo was the color of these dots so that my ribbon matched. So anyway, that's something that you could do. But if you don't want to do that, you can take it and do the same little thing here. Okay, we're going to just make it a little bit more of a flounce on it. You could just use your scissors and run it across and cut it out. Again, just till I can feel that. Okay, there you go. See? I could have taken my little filigree then and done the other sides. I could still do that if I wanted to. Now, I've got like a bajillion punches and dies, so this is not something I would want to take time to do. But when you're just starting out, you don't have a lot of supplies, there's actually a lot you can do with a few supplies. You don't need a whole lot to do a lot. Okay, now I'm going to need my little snips to finish that out, but if I was going to do this very often, I'd be even better at it. Okay, there. And if you don't like it, you could go snip, 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 and just cut those off. And then that would work too. Although you'd want to make it straight. And if you're going to do this, I would do this first and then do your sentiment. But this is just for example how you can make that die work. That's part of this It Starts With Art set. All right, so we didn't finish everything that I wanted to do, but that's all we are going to do today because I'm sure you have many things you would like to do today. I gotta go shut those alarms off. I can hear those cat alarms. They've been going off like for the last 20 minutes, I think, constantly. And the wind might be setting them off, or birds, I don't know. But I keep adjusting the length of them started out with 20 feet. Okay, that was way too much. Put it down to 15 feet. Still going off all the time. Put it down to 10 feet, 8 feet. Still a lot better. So now a lot of them are on like 5 feet. And so I don't think there are cats out there. Maybe there are. Maybe there are squirrels. So anyhow, something's being scared out of our yard. I hope it was a cat. And I hope you have a great day. My son is going, but I am going to get out on the bike yet anyway. I've got my long john thermals on because even though it's warm out, sort of, I mean, it's probably in the 40s. When I get going on the bike, that wind is cold. And so I have my hat on and my thermals on and my sweats on and a coat on and my gloves, and I'm warm. If I didn't have all that on, I'd be cold out there. All right, so what else? Do want to remind you, I have a class coming up a week from now. I think it's too late to come to it, to do it unless you are here, and you're not able to get the, unless you paid for expedited shipping, and I wouldn't recommend it. Expedited is a little risky. So you cannot get my class with the stamps and stuff now, but you could still come if you're local and you want to come to class. I have room for one more person, just one. And you could take both classes. I'm going to try to do both classes at the same time, and we'll see how that works out. I think it'll be fine. And let's see, that is done. Our celebration is still going, and it won't be on for much longer. If you want to be part of a fun stamping team, please join us. We have a lot of fun doing this, and you have a lot of people, not just on my team, but you have a couple of other teams that we all do things together. So you have a lot of stamping friends when you join us. So when you get the starter kit, that starter kit is not a bad deal at all. You're not going to find a better deal until next year, in fact. So if you would like to buy some of Stampin' Up's things, you can join our team. You will get a 20% discount on everything that you purchase through, for Stampin' Up. Plus, that starter kit is just $99, and you're getting over $200 worth of stuff that you get to pick. The cute little mini cutter, which I keep handy and I do use, but it isn't big enough for me. But most people use it a lot more than I do. I use it some. Let's see, but it's cute, and it is handy, and I can take it places, which is nice. Let's see, what else? What else do you get? Oh, you get a free stamp set. You're also going to get a free stamp set from me. And you will get, something at 50% off. Woo! So if you like one of those $60 or $50 bundles, you can get that for $30 or $25. So you get it a half off. So the starter kit is the best deal out there for stamp stuff. So our Stampin' Up products are really high quality. You will be amazed at what an artist you are, and as you do it, you're just gonna enjoy it more and more. It's helped me to keep my weight off, and if you're interested in having some help on that, there's this is just one other thing you can add in. That's a fun thing to add in that can help you keep your weight off, because for me, doing the big shot and stamping instead keeps me from putting food in my mouth, and I'm still down there watching TV with my husband. Not tempted. All right, so you guys have a great day. I will too. I will see you on Monday, back to normal next week, and I'm looking forward to that. All right, thanks for sharing. I'll see you next week. God bless. Bye.